Ghost in the Shell game details emerge, Wargaming scoops up a new developer, Tribes Ascend gets a single purchase option, Runescape may be going retro, and more on this week's episode of Free-to-Play Weekly. After Nexon's recent acquisition of game development rights for popular manga and anime series Ghost in the Shell, the company wasted no time announcing their first title using the license. The genre, FPS. The shooter, which currently has a tentative name of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, is being touted as a game that will feature, quote, fierce hacking battles between cyborgs fighting over strategic resources. It'll also incorporate cyberization and various other concepts present in the original series, along with new diverse content such as a cooperative battle mode. Someone should clue Nexon in on what exactly new and diverse content is, seeing as I'm not sure you could actually call cooperative battle modes new, except in reference to a game we still really know nothing about. At first glance, fierce battles over strategic resources sounds a bit like other common FPS modes, such as Domination. And cyberization, while cool sounding, still makes me think of nothing more than the standard customization features present in most FPSs these days. Still, it's quite fun to say, cyberization. Still, the official launch date is well over a year away from release, which makes it a bit unfair to judge the game based on a small PR blip. Keep in mind Nexon is just the publisher. The game is being developed by Neopol, the developers most famous for Dungeon Fighter Online. Last week, Wargaming.net, makers of World of Tanks, announced the purchase of Age of Empires Online developers Gas Powered Games. Why the purchase? Well, if you haven't been following GPG since Age of Empires Online, you may be unaware of the fact that the company attempted a Kickstarter campaign for a new title called Wildman, which unfortunately fell far short of its $1.1 million goal. Shortly after the start of the campaign, Chris Taylor, founder of Gas Powered Games, revealed that the company wasn't doing well. In fact, the developer had to lay off a large portion of their staff earlier this year, and it was made clear that Wildman was perhaps the company's last hope for survival. Luckily, it seems GPG will safely live on under the protective treads of Wargaming, and while we don't know quite how GPG will operate under its new owners, a statement from Victor Kisley, CEO of Wargaming, made it clear that Wargaming values GPG's past development endeavors by saying, Gas Powered Games' heritage and development pedigree shows us just how valuable an addition Chris and his company will make to the Wargaming family. He goes on to say, Gas Powered Games has a long track record of providing incredibly engaging AAA gaming experiences, and we can't wait to start working with them. While GPG's previous title, Age of Empires Online, was free-to-play, the company has a long non-free-to-play history with series like Dungeon Siege and Supreme Commander. Because of this, it'll be interesting to see if Wargaming will allow GPG to create both free-to-play and buy-to-play games. What do you think Wargaming will do? Jagex did something no one could have predicted when they revealed last week their potential plans to implement an old-school Runescape server. The idea was brought to Jagex's attention when several forum discussions led Jagex to gather feedback which pointed toward a massive audience wishing Runescape went back in time a few years. According to Jagex, after many late nights and weekends digging through dusty old backups and restoring them one by one, the team stumbled upon a complete backup of the game from 2007, which would provide players with an alternate retro RuneScape experience. However, those looking for a trip down memory lane shouldn't start celebrating the return of the glory days just yet. Jagex will be using their community polling system to gather feedback as to just how many players are indeed interested. Based on the poll results, the team will adjust the level of support and even additional payment requirements according to the perceived level of interest. You can find the full polling details and support tiers by checking out the full article on MMOBomb.com. Would you play old school RuneScape? Raiderz Studios has released a Game of the Year edition of their popular sci-fi skiing FPS, Tribes Ascend. What's so special about a Game of the Year edition? Well, it just so happens to include everything available in the game up until now. This means it grants you all 9 classes, over 100 weapons, and all 21 perks in one fell swoop. Players can expect to grab the pack at a discounted price on Steam for $29.99, which most likely means Raiderz plans on raising the price in the future. Hint hint, get it now! For those of you wondering, the all-in-one pack does indeed include all the weapons and perk DLC from the 10 previous expansions, in addition to a new Shock Lance weapon. Raiderz has stressed that nothing has or will change for free-to-play users. The new edition also comes with a matching patch that adds 6 brand new maps along with an assortment of balance tweaks and bug fixes. Do you think it's fair for a free-to-play game to offer all content unlocked in a single purchase? Sometimes, despite a developer's best efforts, a game can simply pass on by with little notice given. This happens especially often for a lot of indie games, including the recently released turn-based strategy Gunswords. Not one to roll over and play dead, the game's developers at One Button Studio have decided to hold community building events all during the month of February in an effort to entice strategic-minded gamers from all around. Every Thursday and Sunday, those who play Gunswords will receive double GP and tin, which are the currencies needed to purchase new units, weapons, and spells within the game. On top of this, the developers plan on streaming live Q&A sessions where players can ask questions or challenge the developers in streamed matches. You can find all the event details by checking out the corresponding article on the site. And the game of the week is Ghost Recon Online. Ghost Recon Online is a 3D squad-focused FPS based on the popular Tom Clancy series, which puts players in the role of a Special Forces operative in the near future. The shooter blends a nice mix of quick solo action with the tactical advantages of strong teamwork. Each player has access to 3 unique class types, with each providing their own essential team buffs for themselves and their allies. A specialist, for example, can disrupt nearby enemy electronics or deploy a protective laser burst plasma field, which shields all inside from bullets for a limited time. In order to encourage smart tactical play, players are also able to quickly slide behind cover, which can then provide bonuses such as increased accuracy and reduced recoil. The game currently features 3 game modes, which are all focused on team-based objective gameplay, including the recently added mode Holdout, which pits teams against each other in a race to capture a single point and attempt to defend it until the end of the match. As players rank up, they'll unlock new weapons and abilities, which they can customize independently for each class. In between matches, players can upgrade their equipment with a variety of attachment types, including silencers, laser sights, scopes, and even upgraded body armor. If you're looking for a team-focused tactical FPS that still offers lots of actions, then be sure to check out Ghost Recon Online. That's all we have for you this week, but as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and leave us a comment below. And until next week, check out MMOBomb.com for more free-to-play action.